Alright, we're back on okfabin.com. I want to ask you, did you have a problem with DJ Khaled? If so, why?
Well, I didn't have a problem with him because I didn't know where his mind was at after the separation between me and Fat Joe and the Terror Squad. So I didn't know what kind of, things to expect, because I try to treat everybody fairly, where it's like business, the music business is just business. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely chose sides. I don't know if he was forced to choose sides. I guess the pressure in that side, like the Joe side, was so much that when I encountered him in a situation, he was so scared to even talk to me. And I didn't know why. I was just like, I came up, I just approached you to talk business. And he immediately took the defense and started like backing up from me, like he saw a ghost. So I didn't know how to really approach it, except, just like the hood way, where it's just like, yo, what's up? Why the fuck you running from me? Like, you know what I'm saying? But, looking back at it, now I knew that, it was certain guidelines and prohibitions put up for Cuban, as far as like whatever, their team and me. Like, don't talk to Cuban, we see you, it's going to be repercussions if you even associate with that guy. So I felt that from him when I first encountered him after the situation, which he started like automatically fear, and it's like I was going to do something to him, and I wasn't. I just came there to talk to him about business, about my music. So I felt that was a manly, so I just left that alone, where, I knew he wasn't going to be an asset to me in any way, as far as like promoting my music and helping me with my music when it comes to like Miami and all of that. So I said, you know what? He's not my friend. He's not my confidant. He's not a
So you
a
don't
business.
have a problem with him, you just figured you dead him. You don't
I don't have a real
you won't
problem
fuck with him.
Well, not dead him like that, because at the end of the day, he plays a. The reason the problem would be initiated if he tries to stop me, stop my music, which is, I know he already did that. Like, it's been done just by the attitude he took when he first owned me. You know what I'm saying? If he's scared to touch me on some more, like touch my record because of problems, that means he's gonna be the first guy to, not include me in a situation. So I know he's not in my side. He's not gonna be, like right now he's in a higher position in Def Jam. He was doing his thing. He's not gonna be the nigga saying, pushing a Cuban Link record. So if he's not rolling with me, he's rolling against me. It's just the truth.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, if you say fuck me, it's fuck you. Bottom line.
Same thing. Did you have a problem with Rick Ross?
No.
If you did, why did this?
Never had a personal problem with Rick Ross. The problem was with that is that he was around that circle. That circle came with a lot of hate for me without me being there. So whatever was talked up into that circle or talked about me in that circle was fed into their minds. So whether somebody was talking down on about me, about my character, about my personality, maybe he thought it was sweet over here in this side, where he could get away by saying things and I wouldn't respond in any way. That's what happened with Rick Ross. He had made a record about me, not a record. Let me just not say that. He made a line about me. He said a line about cutting them grams like Fat Joe did the Cuban Link. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he threw a shot at me, and I was wondering, like, this nigga don't know me from a hole in the wall. He doesn't know me. So what could be the reason why would he say that? And it was a mixtape song, and he said that about me. So I had to, bosses think like bosses, right? So
did you retaliate with a rhyme?
He claims he's a boss, so I'm saying like a boss. I'm saying, I knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it was enough, like, things being said about me, and I'm in your mind for you to come out and say that. So that means all those things was happening in that circle. Remember, that circle came from Khaled, Joe, other people that I had problems with, that got to Rick Ross, because he was around that circle for a minute. Remember, he was around Miami. So I think that gave the confidence to Rick Ross to say something like that, to make a metaphor to that extent, and put it into them terms.
Did you say anything back? Did you respond
Of
to the
course
song?
I did.
Did you respond in the record to the song?
Of course I did.
No doubt.
It's the remix to the
It's a hood.
You're Not Hood. You may remember You're Not Hood at the time they did the record. Yeah. So I just did the remix. I'm saying me and my man Will did the remix. And I responded to that. You know, I go at your throat, you know. And I remember they interviewed him, and they asked him, "What do you think about that Cuban Link record dissing you?" And he said, "Who? Who?"
Wow.
So he downplayed it where I'm nobody, you know what I'm saying? And you know, if that's the way he want to take it, he don't want to confront something that we already know what it is, or he don't want to give it light, which that's what pussy niggas do. I'm not saying that, you know, maybe in that situation he played it more business than anything, and he probably caught on to it and said, you know what, downgrading somebody or acting like they don't exist, you know what I'm saying, is a better tactic than me going straight at him. And that's the tactic he chose. Just like what Joe did. You don't see Joe ever ask questions about it. They don't ask him that, because he preps people before they interview him and say,
yeah, I know.
Don't ask him about no Cuban Link. So that's the reason why. And that's what the enemy does sometimes. That's what they did throughout history and life. You know what I'm saying? They try not to give light to the truth. And they think they could escape it. So.
Yeah, there's a video that I've seen of you mentioning that you slapped Pitbull.
I didn't slap him. I punched him in the face.
What happened with that? What happened? Can you elaborate on it?
That was more
How
of a
did that
personal.
happen? How did that drama come about?
That drama just came about a situation where he got gassed up, another one. He got gassed up by the next person that I had a problem with. His name was Don De Niro. He's Cuban too. And I put him on. I let him, you know, I put him on. I shared my insights with him, wrote rhymes for him, guided him through the music. And, you know, a situation came about where he was in a business situation and he had his differences, whatever, and he chose to go in his own way, and he chose to bad talk about me, like badmouth me, because he felt a certain way, which was, you know, it wasn't a valid point for him to do that, but he did it because he wanted to roll with the status quo. You know, he was in the industry already, so he said, you know what, I could do this without him. So he did that. He chose to do that. You know, whatever. I had no paperwork with him. I did it from my heart. So, you know, my intentions was to let him shine. Yeah. You know, but he did that. You know, he had our differences. He chose to go against me. He started gassing up people from over there. Pitbull was on his, like, in his way up. He was, you know, doing his thing. He gassed him up. We did a song with him. He took, you know, Don De Niro took me out a song I did with him, put Pitbull on. Pitbull threw a little shot at me. You know, the problem is that hurt me was that the Cuban.
Terrible. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's terrible that they are the same heritage, and it's like
what's
the problem? Going on,
see,
man?
Because they joined the status quo. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that nigga's on the ground. Let's kick him like everybody else did.
Wow, man.
So that's what happened. So, you know, a lot of people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? It look like maybe I'm the hater or the bad guy. That's what they look like. I don't understand why niggas don't understand that, but you know, those who do understand know why I do things. Like I said, from my life, I do things for reasons. So, you know, he's just a dude that chose to believe that side and started badmouthing me, like throwing cheap shots at me. And I'm like, I threw some cheap shots back on some more like, you know, I don't play with little pit bulls. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Rottweiler. You know, I say things like that because I got caught up in the game too where it's like more music. But then he chose to make a whole diss song about me. Yeah, he did it. He put it on the internet and all that. He did a whole diss song about me.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he said a lot of things in that song that he don't know nothing about. He must have heard from a third party.
Yeah.
Now, you know, fuck the hood. I'm just talking about as a man. A man don't go and represent something that the next nigga told him if he didn't see it for himself.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I'm asking all these questions, because you hear this and you don't know for sure.
So that's what he chose to do. He chose to talk about shit that he know nothing about and disrespect to that level where it's like, Nigga, you're not just disrespecting me on a lyrical level. You disrespected me as a Cuban. You understand what that means?
It's personal.
So, yeah. So, bottom line,
Personal. That's
those emotions was involved when I seen him. And I punched him in his face and chased him out the club.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. Can you speak a little about Joe's brother?
Who, Angel?
Money Man, yeah.
Money Man? Money Man. Money Man was the reason Joe started the backing of Fat Joe. He was doing his thing in the streets for a while. So he had a name for himself. He had money. He was making money. You know what I'm saying? And he backed Joe up with a lot of things. He stamped Joe in the streets for a lot of things when it came to money. You know what I'm saying? So he was, that was Joe's brother. And, he fell victim to the same thing he was selling. So when that turnaround came around, he became a zombie of the streets. You already know. So once you become a zombie of the streets, I mean, as a brother, I couldn't even explain what I would do if my brother would be like that, but, that situation happened, and he became a zombie of the streets, and it seemed like Joe left him for dead to a point from an outlook, like outview. And I'm sure they had their differences, and, their personal shit went on, but that's all I can say about him. Used to play softball together. He's a cool dude, always been a cool dude.
Yeah, that's cool.
Last time I seen him in the club about like 5 years ago. He got like the same attitude with Cali.
Oh yeah.
Like he was so scared that he was more of a defense, like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So God bless him, man. I don't have too much bad things to say about him. He's a good dude, but last thing I know about, he was in a methadone clinic. You do your math.
That's how I heard he was locked up. I don't know about now.
Last time he was in a methadone clinic. He was getting high with the people I know.
But I know about Joe's sister dying, giving birth or something like that. You know about that? You knew her? You was cool with her?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Lisa.
How'd you take that?
It hurt. When she passed away.
You was hanging around him at that time? I had already left.
I went to the baby's funeral.
But were you
it was already a baby. Like the baby was born, but it was pronounced dead. They had a little funeral for him. And I went, paid my respects. Lisa, she was in a coma.
Yeah, I heard.
So I gathered around her with other people at the time. I think it was Sunkiss, Tony Sunshine, I think. We did a huddle around her while she was still like moving, and she was sedated. And we said a prayer for her, and we was there for her, to the last moments.
But were you still in the group with Joe at the time? I don't think you
was. Yeah, we was, but we was going through it.
Okay.
We were still going through the problems, but we still did that. I still did that. I had love for her.
Yeah. You still in touch with any of the Terror Squad members? You cool with them? Who you cool with? Who you not cool with?
It's more like old baggage to me. I try not to go back into the past anymore. Tried for a long time, but it just happens to come my way. A lot of people that was in Terror Squad went through their own situations after I left, and they found out the harsh truth. The harsh realities of life, and who they was following, and they didn't meet their requirements. So they come back with their heads down because of what they went through, and expect love. And I'm in a situation where there was nobody there for me when I wasn't even asking for that type of love. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody there was for me. Like, let's roll. So I feel that way too. I feel like, you gotta go through what I went through for 10 years.
So you're not in touch with none of them?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I chill with Tone.
Oh, yeah?
Try to find out where his mind is at. He's going through his own things. Tony Sunshine.
Yeah, I heard you mention in one of your songs.
Remy's locked up. That's the only village motherfucker I know from there.
I heard you mention in one of your songs about Tony Sunshine. Seems like you wasn't really getting along with him, and now you talking a little different.
I wasn't. I wasn't, but you know, like I said, we get older, man. We get older. We got to see it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
It's not just about anger.
That's cool.
When we young, we let that anger play a big part of our lives. You grow up, you start using your mind. You know, when you're younger, you use your heart more.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Remy because she was the next question. So I want to know if you got in touch with, if you've been in touch with her.
I haven't been in touch with her because I've been going through some bullshit too, you know, with other things that just stops me from going to see her on some old government shit. But besides that, you know, I love her very much, you know, and she's definitely a real individual that, you know, to this day, she's a very good friend, you know, and I wish her the best, and I know she's holding it down wherever she's at.
You know how she doing? You don't know?
Yeah, I mean, hear from the, you know, people.
I know
that
you
went
was
to see
here,
her.
yeah, that's why I'm asking.
She's good, she's good,
Yeah.
she's holding it down.
No doubt.
You know.
When she be home?
She should be home in like 4 more.
4 more years? Yeah?
4 to 5 more.
2016, so these.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Do you think if she was here, she would have been battling Nicki Minaj? You think it would have been like a, because she was nice, Remy was nice, man, and I don't know, I see them, I think they, like, it would have been a competition for this, I don't know.
I think Remy would have had more on her mind than Nicki Minaj. I think she would have been going through what I've been through with the situation. I mean, she's worse because she was caught up more in the business part with the Terror Squad shit, with the Joe situation and the contract. I think she would have been battling, she would have had too much things in her head legally with that contract to even be thinking about, you know what I'm saying, other things. But her instincts are to kill.
You as an artist.
Was just to, you know what I'm saying, when she grabs that mic, she knows she's the queen.
So okay, that's funny. It goes into the next question. You as an artist, I'm gonna ask you. Right now, Nicki Minaj is hot. From what I hear in the street, everybody's talking about her. She's real hot. I don't personally like her, but you know, some of the songs are catchy. You get to, you know. I want to think who you think is better. Who you think was better?
As far as lyrics, hardcore.
Who would have won in a battle?
As far as lyrics, hardcore, gangster rap. Borderline crossover. Remy is the best. Remy has some growing up to do. When I say growing up, it means adjusting to the more commercial aspect of the game. When it comes to that commercial aspect of the game, Nicki Minaj is top.
No doubt.
That's the only way I can put it. But, there's a but.
All
all Remy needs to do is concentrate on that side. See, she come from the same shit I come from. So I know how hard it is to cross over to the point as an artist.
Yeah.
She wouldn't want to say things that Nicki say because she feels like she's selling out.
Yeah.
That's the difference. But Remy could do that 10 times better. It's just she needs to do it when she wants to do it.
It's not what she want to do.
Yeah, it's not what she wanted to do.
It seems like it took Remy a little longer than you did to come around with Fat Joe and not really get along with him. Seems like she's still with them a little longer. Why do you think?
She had to learn. She said it in my song. She was 19. You know? She had to learn the facts. She was 19. If you hear a song I did with her called Moment of Truth, she said the whole story. And I did tell her. You know, I did tell her. If you do that to me, imagine what he do to you. And now she knows though. You know, it's about realizing sometimes you don't get it when you know, it's right in your face. Sometimes you gotta wait till you see it. But she saw it later on.
No doubt. I hear you affiliated with a small organization based in Florida called the UWF, Urban Wrestling Association. How did that come about?
That situation came from my man Biggs, man. My man Biggs, you know, he's a big wrestling fan. He loves wrestling. You know, we shared thoughts on wrestling. And I loved wrestling when I was younger. I got derived from it because I was doing my hip hop. And, you know, was just caught up in other things. But, you know, wrestling always been fun and entertainment. And when I was a little kid, I just grew up on that. you know. And Biggs, you know, he proposed this situation with me. He told me about the plays that's gonna be involved. The Steve dude, you know what I'm saying, the nigga who owns the whole shit. And he told me that he used to do extreme wrestling, you know what I'm saying, back in the days. I remember me watching him. That's where that was the circuit, the ECW, yeah. That was the circuit where they had the Terry Funks, you know what I'm saying, the Cactus Jacks.
Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, all of them, you know what I'm saying. And there was like the underground, you know what I'm saying. So I used to watch that. That's how much into wrestling I was. Not just WWF, I used to watch that too.
Wow.
But yeah, he put me on to that, man. And, you know, we closed the deal and, you know, we decided to do some urban, ghetto, hood shit.
Can you elaborate on what do you do there exactly?
It's basically putting the wrestling into the hood, like trying to make it, the aspect of it realer. Because wrestling lost its reality, like, you know, it became too much like a soap opera, too much fake shit. So, you know, it was Steve's idea to make it where the reality of it come back, where it's like incorporated into the hood. You know what I'm saying? As far as like anything goes, like as far as like niggas getting money on that corner, you know what I'm saying? Storylines like that.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, storylines like, you know, niggas pull out guns.
Wow.
You know, things like that. So,
that's crazy.
You know, that intrigued me because, you know, I'm with that. I'm with, you know, it's reality and I love wrestling, so if we can make it happen, we're making it happen.
No doubt. So you in the storylines and all that?
Yeah.
That's cool, that's cool. Were you always a wrestling fan growing up?
Yeah, like I said, you know, since I was, I say 10, 11, that's when I, you know, I was watching wrestling, man, loved it. Loved Hogan, loved Iron Sheik, loved Andre the Giant, Randy Macho Man.
No doubt. Those were the best.
You know what I'm saying?
Those were the best days of wrestling.
Then I got put on to the, you know, the other one. What was the other one? The other
WCW?
WCW?
WCW.
Ric Flair.
NWA, yeah, Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Ricky Steamboat was my nigga though. So you got DDT by Jake the Snake.
Got knocked out.
Then Jake the Snake became like one of my best. But you know, yeah, man, I enjoy wrestling.
Do you plan on seeing what comes out of it for you?
I figure if it goes good, I mean, everybody got to gain from it. You know,
No doubt.
I'm not just doing it for the quick buck. Like I like it and I love it that much. I love my music too much to be incorporated with something I wouldn't love. So I'm incorporated with that so it could bring up the whole thing. You know, hip hop and wrestling, I think, go a long ways.
No doubt. I hear you mention in one of your songs you was being blackballed. Can you elaborate a little on that for people?
But when I say that, I don't want people to say that, you know, think that I'm asking for pity or making an excuse of why not, and I'm not in the level that I need to be in. I just want to give people the truth as far as like the hardships that became about after I left the terror squad and all that, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand that as a person that was there that had more veteranship than me, had more relationships than me. So if we're enemies, we're not going to see eye to eye with a lot of things, and he's definitely not going to let me use his people. And he's going to put in that word for people not to work with me.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, or it could be fortunately, because at the end of the day, I'm still, you know, standing with the test of time. But, you know, he had a lot of people that he had influence over for me to, you know, succeed in what I do. And I always try to do it humbly and treat everybody fair without, you know, when I say fair, it's like me saying I'm treating him like, oh, I already, you know Joe, so, you know, you just picking on me because I know Joe, and you just don't like me because you don't like Joe. It's not like that. I try to treat everybody where, you know, individually, and I always give them respect. But I'm doing this while they saying, you know what, they're already putting the red flag up when I come in the room. So that's what I'm saying about blackboard. Like, it's already no before I step in the room, yet they entertain my idea of listening to me. You understand? So that's even more frustrating.
Yeah.
Because then a nigga from the hood like I am, which I have, my mind went to that situation where it's like, you know what, fuck these niggas, let me slap them. Let me do what I do, shake them up, you know, do what I do. And, you you know, some situations it went that way. But it don't work because they go call the cops and they do bitch shit that bitch niggas do. But it's just, you know, it's like, I found out later that's not the way. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the way. So, my first idea was to just be humble. And you know, that's why I came in that room and I was humble enough to say my piece. That's how I keep it.
No doubt.
Until they get the point, you know.
All right, it would seem to me if you was being blackballed, it would have started with Fat Joe.
Right.
All right, my question is, being that, do you think that would still affect your career?
As far as what?
As far as, like...
You blowing up or something?
I say, yes. I say it would have started by him, the blackballing. So now that he's in a different position in his life, you coming up, do you think that still would affect your career, the blackballing?
I try not to think about the people he knows and he can control, which is a lot, and they powerful. I just try to think about the new ways we can make it happen.
No doubt. Best way to think positive.
Talent can't be denied, and
No doubt.
realness can't be denied. So,
That's right. Your 3 favorite rappers all time?
Big Pun, Coogee Rap, and Nas.
Who do you think is the best right now?
Right now, I don't have a favorite.
No? Really?
I know. I like people.
You wouldn't say anybody's the best right now?
No, not the best.
No?
I say I'm the best.
You know, it's funny, when I was writing that question, I thought you would say that. That's funny, right? But any artist would say that. You're going to think you're going to use it. It makes sense.
I'm not even saying it to promote myself. I'm telling you that because I know what I'm saying has a message and it has lyrics and has format.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, ain't nobody with that right now. Like, you know. 50 I love, you know, 50 I love for different reasons. You know, you just got too business, you know. That's the problem with 50 right now. Like, he's just making songs that are hollow. Before he was making songs that had fucking ingredient, you know. And, you know, he's a businessman though. He's entitled to do that. Well, Jay's always gonna be dope.
Yeah.
He's never been my favorite though, but Jay's dope.
No doubt. Any regrets?
I try not to.
That's good.
I try not to. I don't have too many. Everything I did for a reason, like I said. And everything that I didn't, I try to fix.
No doubt. Any upcoming projects for your fans to look forward to?
Definitely.
We'll talk about it a little bit.
Bully. That's the mixtape. If y'all know about it, go check it out. Chain Gang Bully. I got Hijo de la Calle, that's a Spanish album.
Where you can find them at, where we could
Go right now, the Chain Gang Bully. You can go to www.official Cuban Link official CubanLinkCLK.com.
No doubt, there you go.
Yeah.
New Cuban Link. New Cuban Link.
Yeah, but the name of the album though that I'm working on is called The Missing Link. That's self-explanatory.
That's nice. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? The Missing Link.
It's funny you mentioned that. I just watched this.
And not because it's about wrestling, but I might do the fucking front cover with the green fucking
That'll
shit.
be good.
I might do that.
I just
but
watched
it's
this
really up the
interview.
link that's missing from hip hop. That's been a long time missing.
No doubt.
And I need my link to complete
Sounds
the
good.
chain. You understand? So that's the metaphor.
Sounds good.
And then the Spanish album was called Hijo de la Calle. So, you know, I'm doing that for the first time. Spanish
You
album.
rap in Spanish?
All that.
Yeah.
The whole album is Spanish. And just
Singing? No singing?
No, singing,
No
rapping,
singing.
hip hop,
I'm
Spanish
just
hip
saying,
hop.
you know, sometimes they throw a little singing.
No, I might do melody.
Yeah.
I might melodize with something, like, you know what I'm
No
saying?
doubt.
No llores mi vida. You know, I might do a little melody, but I'm not a singer. I got artists for that.
No doubt. All right, I heard you was writing the second Scarface. You want to elaborate a little on that and tell the fans what happened with that project?
I was writing it. I got the script in my mind, and I got the script in my possession. But that never took